It is Talk 25 to 3. Maddie Hale has joined us, Talk International Presenter. Or is it Talks International? I've never understood that.
I'm just like...
Talk International...
Every week, like we get hell-bent on the title.
This really matters, this kind of stuff. Honestly. You only arrived here because you went to Calais and jumped on a boat. So I think you should,
That's not how it works for some...
Kind of that, really. You did a gap year in France. You left Australia. Well, a lot of Australians do a little bit of a walkabout, but outside your own country. That's fantastic. And then, you know, somehow we ended up...
You guys got me, and it's through a legal process called the Youth Mobility Visa, and here we are.
Yeah. You and Adam, our producer, were on the same boat, I think.
I would never in my life catch a boat from Australia to Europe. It would. My grandma did that years and years and years ago.
Did
she said it took 6 weeks. I can't even go on a boat for 10 seconds without throwing up. So
you see, I think if you had the time and you had the cash and it was a nice boat, I think that'd be all right, wouldn't it?
All right, well, neither of us have that, and I'm going to speak for you.
Don't speak for me. I've got the boat.
Okay.
Listen, the reason we wanted to talk to you, because these are the kind of areas you explore. Paris 2024, the Olympics, there was some controversy. For a few moments during the event, but one of the biggest ones was to grab the headlines was whether it was right or wrong to allow the boxer Imane Khelif, I think I've got the name right.
I've been saying Imane, but...
Imane, that's probably right, Imane Khelif, to take part, because this is an Algerian sportswoman, we are told, ended up winning gold. Yeah. But... she's now filed a lawsuit. The accusation is that she's not a woman, she's a bloke.
Well, yeah, the accusation is that she...
It's a bloke.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with what she says, which is a woman. She was born a female.
Because she said it?
Well, you know what, Ian? I'm just going to go off what she says.
I thought you were bringing biology tests in here today.
The DNA test that she had last year for the World Championship said that she had traces of XY chromosomes, which, as you and I know, is only for men. So she has traces of testosterone, which meant she was eliminated from the last year's competition that she was meant to partake in. But the Olympics Committee said that she has every right to compete because she was born a female. Now, that's up for negotiation. That's up for discussion whether further tests need to be held for her and the other Olympian that competed with a similar situation. But obviously, this sparked so much criticism from both sides of the aisle because you have a lot of pro-female and sports people saying that it is so unfair for a woman with male testosterone competing against other female, especially in such an aggressive sport as boxing. But then you also have people that say, hang on, this is a female, this is misogynistic, this is sexist, this is just wrong. Look how far we've come with female sport in general. Anyway, so the update on this story is that she has now filed a lawsuit, a cyberbullying lawsuit from within France. It was sent to Variety magazine from the Paris prosecutor's office. It said that an investigation had now been launched in fight against crimes against humanity and hate crimes to conduct an investigation into the counts of cyber harassment due to gender, public insult because of gender, public incitement to discrimination and public insult because of origin. We know that she was obviously affected by what was happening. She was quite literally trending online. It caused...
It's funny because we've been talking about what... and we'll come to who else is at the centre of this in a second. We've been talking about the sort of things people say online that they wouldn't say elsewhere. Look, if somebody has a genuine concern about something, you can raise it, you can debate it. But the kind of the horror that she got was unbelievable. You know, really, really vile stuff, and you wonder why anybody, you know, how anybody does that and sleeps at night. But in particular, she's named J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk in this.
Because they were obviously quite outspoken about...
this is not a criminal thing, right, we should say,
no,
right?
it's not.
This is just somebody's written to the French authorities and said...
Exactly, and the lawsuit allegedly states that they can only really prosecute or charge anyone who wrote a tweet inside France or who wrote a comment or whatever within France, so they're obviously safe. J.K. Rowling, Elon Musk being some of the people that are more outspoken on the topic. Obviously, they're the ones with the most followers, but it wasn't just you know, them. There was so many people that really dove into this subject. But, you know, there was also the kind of argument, which I thought was an interesting argument, that people that were slamming the Olympics committee for putting her in this situation where she would be subjected to this hate speech.
That's a good point.
Which I thought was really interesting, because the IOC has obviously been incredibly supportive of her, saying she has every right to be competing. But then, yeah, on the other side of the coin, people have said, well, you shouldn't have put her in that situation if you knew that she'd been banned from a competition last year. You know, trans women competing against female in sport has become one of the biggest topics in the last year. So obviously it's opened the door to that kind of criticism that she's then, you know.
It's interesting. Sharon Davis, who's a British Olympian, she was a swimmer. I know Sharon a little bit. She's a very big figure in British sport. She's written a lot about this. Just while I'm looking here, the trans lobby show their colours over and over again with threats and bullying when anyone dares stand up for a simple, fair sport for females, half of this world, who are simply asking for equality of opportunity in a physical activity like sport based on biology. And she, along with others, are very relaxed about calling this boxer a man. There is no doubt neither Sharon, J.K. Rowling are nasty people. They are absolutely sure of the position they're in when they say this. So there may be something that's still to come on this.
Yeah, I think that was
I find it extraordinary that we can't even... I know that Keir Starmer doesn't know what a man or a woman is, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But you know, the world of sport can't define what a man or a woman... Is she a woman? Is it a man?
I didn't even know that this... You know, in what world would females be producing testosterone or XY chromosomes, whatever it may be? It's an interesting position to be in. I feel so sorry that she's been subjected to this criticism, but at the same time, I am such a firm believer that women should be competing against women. We've come so far in the sporting arena. We have people showing up to watch women. That never would have happened years ago. It's an exciting time.
For foxy boxing.
And for, you know, those stunning...
Did I really just say that?
Yeah, I'm going to look past it immediately, as most things you say. I pretend I'm deaf half the time.
Who doesn't like it? Let's look at something else just
let's
finally.
go to the US.
We will wait and see, because you follow a lot of US stuff. A lot of your programme that you do for Talk is about US politics. And there's some news coming out, economy news, which Donald Trump has been quite vocal about.
So the July inflation figures, for the annual inflation figures, I should say, were released. The percentage went down to 2.9. It's the lowest it's been since March 2021. That's exciting for the US, who had a top of 7% in 2021. It affected everyone. It's the combination of COVID pandemic and then Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Obviously, the inflation has been affected everywhere, but the US really took a toll on them. It's great news, but it just apparently the figures of consumer prices are still high. They're still feeling the brunt of that. Donald Trump knows this, because when it comes to the economy, this is the draw card for each candidate. Donald Trump has always prided himself on the fact that he runs a strong economy. And so when these inflation figures came out, he's obviously tarnishing the Bidenomics, the Kamalanomics name. There's a clip of him, we'll play this clip of him at his rally in North Carolina, and he's just going for it.
Let's have a look.
Does anyone here feel richer under Kamala Harris than Crooked Joe, than you were during the Trump administration? Is anything less expensive under Kamala Harris and Crooked Joe? I mean, we had inflation that I don't believe we've ever had inflation like that. You can go back a long way. Are you better off now with Harris and Biden than you were with a person named President Donald J. Trump? Do you know him? He's a nice gentleman. Nice gentleman.
I mean, nobody can deliver a political speech like him.
Because he's not a politician.
Crooked Joe now. He was Sleepy Joe, now he's Crooked Joe.
Oh, he's both, according to Trump.
Yeah, indeed. So, I mean, these figures in any other day of the week will play well for the Democrats, and, you know, Trump's got to play catch-up again on this, because they can say... But, of course, Kamala Harris, one of the problems she's got, I keep noticing, she's going, you know, if I'm in charge, I will do this. It's like,
yeah,
you're already in charge.
That's what Trump said. Trump said...
You're already doing the job.
He said that
you're the vice president, for God's sake.
You're 10 feet away from the Oval Office. You're still on the wing. You're still in the West Wing.
Yeah.
You've still had the chance to help out with the economy. I mean, the inflation figures were always going to go down. It doesn't matter who's in charge. We've just had a pandemic and a...
Correct,
invasion.
Yes.
This was always going to happen.
There's no brilliance.
There's no brilliance behind it. When Biden says he's brought in all these jobs, half of them were being brought back.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's very true.
I mean, yeah, but economy and inflation is at the top of every poll. It has been for years.
Yep.
Every voter wants the economy to be the #1 priority for anyone involved. Trump, that's his thing. So that's why he's going for it.
Listen, Maddie, thank you.
Ian, always a pleasure.
Of course it is for you.
Yeah.
We will we will update you on what happens with the boxer, of course, when we find out more. If there's more to know. By the way, a few weeks back, you said you wanted to go and see Taylor Swift. She's playing this weekend at Wembley. You were hoping you'd get tickets. You didn't have tickets. You were barren in the ticket department. There was no tickets for Maddie.
Yeah.
What's the latest?
No, there's still no tickets, Ian, so it's interesting that you brought that up on live TV so that I can go home shattered and be reminded of something.
Sam has tickets.
Are you kidding? Take me. We haven't met.
Never met Sam.
No. You have a revolving staff in here. Your staff turnover is quite high.
My staff,
and I am noticing.
I love that. Well, no, Sam, me and Sam worked together for about 5 years. So
he's literally never mentioned you.
I've never mentioned Sam.
Yeah, no.
Sam, now, Finn, you know Finn?
Yeah, I know Finn.
Yeah, now, corn-fed Finn is an actual Swiftie. I mean, he's properly...
Yeah, he actually gave me a Taylor Swift book a few weeks ago, so that was nice.
There you go. He's got all that stuff. He's got everything, you know. So you're not going back?
So I don't have tickets is what we're getting at.
All right.
But if anyone's listening and wants to take me...
I will, I'll tell you on Monday what it was like.
Yeah, no worries. Why don't you tell your son not to come and I will go with you?
No, I'm not going, seriously.
Oh.
But my son's not going.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, he listens to Cradle of Filth. He's only 10.
Oh. A few issues there.
My other half is going with some nieces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they've been making bracelets or something?
Yeah, that's the thing. My dad was wearing one the other day.
You were wet, really?
My dad.
Bracelets? Do
you not read the news?
I don't read Taylor Swift news.
The friendship bracelet, that is the news. That's all there is.
Forget Trump, forget the economy, forget Keir Starmer and extraordinary prison sentences. Taylor Swift bracelets.
Yeah, we need to get your fare.
Maddie, thank you. That's Maddie Hale with us on Talk.